Hello everyone, doing a recent vinyl editions video today. Picked up some great stuff this week and just wanted to check in. I want to thank everyone that's been watching the videos, that's been commenting. Actually want to shout out to Nathan Morales, Turntable Currents. Nathan, you're like not only one of the coolest dudes ever in the VC, but you turned me on to like so many great psychedelic bands and just bands in general. And when I saw you subscribe to my channel, it really meant a lot to me, and I'm just a really big fan of yours. So thank you so much. It's really cool. I got a stack of stuff here this week, a little bit of everything. One thing I picked up this week, we'll just get right into it. 2013 LP playing in the background. This is the band Darkside with the album Psychic. This is Nicholas Jar and someone else I'm not familiar with. Someone else playing guitar, but it's predominantly Nicholas Jar's band. It's electronic music, but it really has a psychedelic edge to it, and almost sort of there's some disco elements going on there too. It's really, really good. I highly recommend this album. Sort of a sleeper. It's gotten some attention, but it's just fantastic, and the packaging is great too. The package opens up top. 2 LP set. Really cool sort of psychedelic artwork there. I think a lot of people in the VC would really dig this. If you've not heard it, check it out. The band is Darkside. Another 2013 LP that is phenomenal, is so good, is Tim Hecker's Virgins. Pick this up. Great, awesome artwork there. Sort of complementary to the Darkside LP. Tim Hecker, I would recommend this to anyone that's a really big Brian Eno fan. Again, it's sort of, electronic music, but the thing that really sticks out to me about this Virgins LP is how layered it is. There's so much going on, but not in an overwhelming way. I mean, you can actually just put this album on in the background and just go about doing your business. You don't have to just sit down. This is one of those albums that you have to sit down and just listen. But if you do that, you find so much going on. This is definitely my favorite Tim Hecker LP. I really liked Rave Death 1972. I have it on vinyl somewhere, but this is really, really, really good. Highly recommended. A couple other things I picked up this week. And I want to say something. I mean, I know some of these things that I'm showing have been shown to death in the VC, and I mean, I'm very well aware of that. I'm just showing, music that I enjoy, things that I've picked up that, I want to show. There's not a whole lot of thought put into it as far as this has been shown, this has not been shown. This is one of those cases, but I never had this LP till this week. King Crimson in the Court of the Crimson King. This is a reissue on 200 gram vinyl. Again, I know this has been shown to death and it's a classic, but it's a grail for me. I've never owned this album on vinyl. It was always extremely expensive. I went ahead and just bit the bullet. It was $30, but what a great King Crimson album to have. Some Krautrock, Amandul, made in Germany. I showed Amandul's Hijack last week in a video, and Made in Germany is sort of similar to Hijack for me, as far as definitely not my favorite Amandul album, but there are some shining points. They're the ever revolving cast of Amandul band members. I believe this came out in 1975. So Amandul, Made in Germany. Very weird album. Speaking of krautrock bands and not being our favorite album from them, this is Can's self-titled release from 1979. I like this better than I thought I would. Again, I'm more of a Tago Mago man, earlier Can, but that's a lot of things around with Can. But I actually like this a lot better than I thought I would. The ending of the first side is particularly strong. Definitely check this out. I I would recommend it to Can fans. It's not offensively bad. Getting into some soul, Bobby Womack, Understanding. This is really an awesome LP. Got this really cheap. I think it was about $5. Wow. I mean, damn, this is a great soul album. I wasn't really sure where to start with Bobby Womack. This is my first Bobby Womack album on vinyl, and this is just so good. God, I Can Understand It. Really love the song Gotta Get You Back, Simple Man. Got a cover of Sweet Caroline. Most of this was recorded at the legendary Muscle Shoals studio in Alabama. Parts of Sticky Fingers were recorded there, a lot of other great albums, but this is an album you can just hear, almost, visualize that studio vibe, like a sweaty studio in Alabama. And Bobby Womack has a scream that's really second only to James Brown, in my opinion. It's just a fantastic album. And actually, Pam Grier from Foxy, from what are all the movies? Coffee and what was the Foxy? I can't remember, but she's also in Jackie Brown. Pam Grier actually sings backup on the Bobby Womack album, which was kind of surprising. But anyway, keeping with the soul, a classic soul album, the Delphonics, La La Means I Love You. Classic Philly soul album, really the album that started the Philly soul movement. Not really a bad song on here. Great production. Again, not much you need to say about this. It's been said, but very proud to own this one. Great album for anyone wanting to get into the Philly soul sound. Definitely pivotal LP. Have two more here. Zappa, Apostrophe. Was glad to finally get this one. I found this one fairly cheap, $6 or $7. I really like this one. I think Jean-Luc Ponty's on this one, and really great band on this one. So as usual. And lastly, some hip hop. I found this in the Dollar Bin, Afrika Bambaataa. Looking for the perfect beat, and it's backed with the same song instrumentally. Anytime I find like a cheap, and this of course is on the Tommy Boy label, anytime I find a Tommy Boy or a Def Jam in the Hip Hop Dollar Bin, I buy it just for completist purposes. I'm a collector of Tommy Boy and Def Jam. That Bambaataa is actually in really good shape, and sounds really amazing for early hip hop fans. I did also get some, let's see here, some Northern Soul 45s this week. Chairman of the Board, Bless You, backed with Pay the Piper. Eighth Day, If I Could Still See the Light. If I Could See the Light, this is a great song. The Eighth Day, If I Could See the Light. Northern Soul. The Intruders, Cowboys the Girls, backed with Turn the Hands of Time. And this is an awesome one. Tyrone Davis, Just Because of You, from 1970, and I'll Be Right Here. This is a really classic Northern Soul song. And also Smokey Robinson, The Miracles, Sweat for You Baby, backed with More Love. So a few Northern Soul 45s. As far as I mentioned when I started this channel, maybe doing some, mentioning some books. I wanted to show a few things that I've been reading lately. Martin Amis's Money. Finished this the week before last. I actually heard about this. I'd heard of Martin Amis, but this was on David Bowie's 100 favorite books. It actually came out. There was some art gallery in London was doing something on some sort of piece on David Bowie, and it had a list of his 100 favorite books, and this was on one of those 100. Bowie fans, should definitely check it out. It's the list. It helps give you a better idea of Bowie. I guess his personal tastes, and a lot of the books on the list I've read. I had not read this one. It's sort of about the 1980s and Wall Street. That whole sort of American Psycho type world, but sort of set in Hollywood. I enjoyed it. There was some parts that kind of moved slow, but Martin Amis's money. Great cover art. This is Don DeLillo's Libra. Actually finished this last night. Don DeLillo is one of my favorite authors. This is about the Kennedy assassination, sort of from the perspective of Lee Harvey Oswald. It's historical fiction. This was really good. I prefer Don DeLillo's White Noise to Libra, but a good book nonetheless. And I'm currently reading Kurt Vonnegut's The Sirens of Titan. This is one of the few Vonnegut I haven't read, and so far it's really funny. Just I was worried that since it was such early Vonnegut, he may not have found his voice yet. I have not read his earliest works, but he has found his voice by then. So anyway, yeah, a couple of records, some 45s, some books. I hope everyone's doing well. Again, I appreciate everyone, and please comment on this video. Have a great weekend.